Midweek matches are mad. Hello, I am the Irish guy, and yes, this is the midweek edition of the Prem Catch-Up. And lads, let's see the craziness that happened in the midweek games this week. And I know Man United are playing tonight. Don't worry. You'll beat West Ham, okay? Right, let's go. Newcastle 2, Tottenham 2. This game made me feel like sucking the soil out of a flower pot. It made me feel like marching into an airport bathroom to kiss the soap. You don't understand me sitting in my seat in that stadium with a full-time whistle wet. It fully felt like I'd been slapped by a penguin. It honestly felt like watching Marley and Me after your dog's funeral. It felt like a defeat. Actually, worse than a defeat. Because it was so ridiculously avoidable. Lads, before this match, for the last month, the entire Geordie fan base has been screaming for Nick Pope to be dropped because Aaron Ramsdale is secretly the answer. Yeah, but after his feeble efforts to keep the ball out of the net, letting the only 2 Tottenham shots on target scoring past him into the goal, yeah, I'm guessing the majority of the Toon fan base is also flip-flopping. Lads, it's so annoying, and if every single club in the league, I think Newcastle are the one where their 2 goalkeepers are the closest in quality. Because at every other club, you can see there's a very clear number 1. But at St. James's Park, Pope and Ramsdale are basically football twins. They are so close in ability, so close that they're fighting over the last World Cup spot on the plane. What 2 goalies at one club fight over the same international spot? I mean, you're not going to get much of an upgrade either way, whoever you pick. Seriously, it's like some bloke ditching his ugly wife to instead get off with her twin sister behind the KFC bins. Think it through, mate. But look, this was absolutely 2 points dropped for Newcastle. First of all, Bruno Guimaraes comes off the bench to fire in what should be a late winner, but that gets leveled up with Cristiano Romero's late header. Then Newcastle get given a soft penalty, with Spurs punished because Byrne was squashing Bentancur with his armpit. Look, I mean, I'm not complaining, but let's be real. That was about as much a penalty as I am a pregnant Pikachu. But hey, Anthony Gordon scores to put the club 2-1 up with a few minutes left. And then the referee drags 9 minutes of injury time out of his underpants. And by the way, I've noticed a recent trend of football fans leaving matches with 10 minutes left. And I think it's ridiculous. I don't care if you're going to miss your last bus home. With the huge amount of extra time added on these days, you're not missing 10 minutes. You're missing 20. That is the length of time of a whole Simpsons episode. I mean, do you walk out of the cinema with 20 minutes left to get the last bus home? If you do, then you probably all thought Toy Story 3 was a lot darker than it was. So walk out of the stadium at 1-1 when your team needs you to cheer them on, leaving pockets of ugly empty seats in the ground. I'm sorry, but it is a pet peeve of mine. That annoys me more than finding a dead mouse in my Frosties. Seriously, lads, what are you so keen to run home for? If you're so keen to see angry Ginge kiss a dead koala, or whatever the latest Tucker trials are, I mean, they're so deep into the seasons now. I wouldn't be shocked if they've run out of animals, and so one of the forfeits is a celebrity gets nominated to try Antidex poo. But yeah, I mean, if you're that mad for the telly, then put in a tape and stay for the actual match. I think it's rotten. But anyway, in the 99th minute, Romero scores again, wobbling in the worst overhead kick I've ever seen. Every Newcastle player freezes as if they're doing the mannequin challenge, and I trickled in so slowly I thought I was watching an episode of Father Ted. Time stood still as that ball moved. Everyone, even the fans, froze. Seriously, watch the highlights package back on Sky, and as the ball is moving, you can hear in the telly, the stadium is so silent, you can actually hear a woman scream twice. I mean, maybe it was someone getting mugged outside the ground. I don't know. But it was proof that this was a shocking goal. Neither Alanga or Gordon can be bothered to challenge Romero in the air, and it floats past Chow, Byrne and Joe Linton at the back post, while Ramsdale's positioning was pretty wimpy. He was so far away from the centre of his goal, he might as well have been buying chips outside the ground. Although, what is it about defenders scoring braces this season? Because Romero is the second Spurs centre-back to score 2 in a game this season after Mickey van den Ven. And he was the second centre-back on the pitch to do so after Chow had done it for Newcastle a week ago. And with Fineka scoring 2 for Brighton last night, and Timber doing the same for Arsenal earlier in the season, what is it with centre-backs hunting down hat-tricks? Am I the only one who thinks it's a really weird trend? Seriously, it's like seeing every sheep in a field wearing jeans, or finding your mum smooching fish. It's weird. Bournemouth 0, Everton 1. Oh, I'm so relieved I did not put a forfeit on this match. Usually I would have, but not now. Because me and Iriola are in the middle of a lover's tiff. I still haven't forgiven the guy for choking like a Weetabix munching squirrel against Sunderland, and so yeah, I had this one down as a 1-1 draw. But now, Everton win with Jack Grealish. Jack Grealish, my utter nemesis, scoring the winner against little old Bournemouth. Yeah. This is a match where the bad guy won. Doesn't that just feel like you've been stung in the face by a bee? Look, whisper it quietly, but ever since going second in the league, the Cherries have been quietly terrible. That is 1 point from 5 games. Now, usually, I would be leaping to the defense of Bournemouth right now, pointing to a tough fixture it is, but no! Me and Iriola right now, not on speaking terms. I'm still mad at him because it was his inability to cling on to the lead which had me waltzing with Mr. Crumbles. Everyone at Aldi looked at me as if I stood in the veggie aisle shoving cauliflower down my underpants. But yeah, this is a game where I would normally stick up for Bournemouth, but right now, No. Right now, I do feel like that annoying girlfriend of yours who gets upset with you when you whittle it in the sink. So yes, right now, Andoni, I'm giving you the silent treatment. Don't even think about crawling into bed with me tonight. What, I'm talking to Mr. Crumbles, relax. Liverpool 1, Sunderland 1. Oh dear, oh dear. Oh dear! Lads, for the entirety of Newcastle, this game was such a confusing hate watch. Let me explain. The Magpies are playing Sunderland next week in the scariest match of the season, but also the bloke leading the line for Liverpool on Wednesday night just so happens to be the most hated man in Newcastle. For Geordies to be actively cheering on Isak, wanting him to score goals last night, it'll have been so confusing. But like somebody who actively wants to smooch their cousin. Newcastle fans have been preconditioned to wanting Isak to fail, to suddenly flick a witch and want him to succeed. Oh, it's like KSI suddenly wanting to have a picnic with Jake Paul. It's like catching Batman and the Joker sharing a snog outside Costa Coffee. But yeah, for Newcastle, this was the most confusing night of the year. Even more confusing to someone who doesn't know whether or not to admit to his mates that he's got a crush on the geek of Scooby-Doo. Well, look, this game was almost Disasterville for Liverpool. I knew it. I knew your problems weren't all fixed by that win at West Ham. I knew that meant nothing. I mean, their problems are so deep that win was like putting sellotape over a broken leg. And yeah, this is so ghastly. Welcoming a newly promoted Sunderland to your ground. A team who I still maintain are a hodgepodge of newbies assembled all at once in the summer. It is a Frankenstein monster. Just a new team completely created overnight. I mean, I talked about Liverpool buying too many players in the summer. Oh no. Sunderland. They signed half the planet in a month. I'm still not sure how this is even possibly working, because both Nottingham Forest and QPR did that and failed. This is honestly like somebody going around town and inviting 50 strangers to their birthday party. I mean, obviously it's going to be an awkward evening of weird small talk as strangers of all ages struggle to find conversation in between painfully awkward mouthfuls of cheesecake. That should have been Sunderland this season, but it's not. And they were only denied a famous last gasp win at Anfield because Federico Chiesa was there to clear off the line. Liverpool haven't lost at home to Sunderland since 1983, so losing here would have been dreadful. It's the equivalent of an under-pressure bloke at work suddenly spilling Pepsi all over the company's spreadsheets just as his boss walks past. You cannot lose at home to Sunderland as the reigning champions of England. You just can't. And they didn't because they were saved by an own goal. But look, for Liverpool, this is a disgrace. How do you spend £500 million in the summer and yet are still behind Sunderland in December? It's simply revolting, and Slot needs to go. But yeah, for Sunderland to nearly win at Anfield a week before the derby, I am scared. I really am, but play the clip.
And if Liverpool don't win this match, then I will stand outside Aldi, trying to do 10 keep yuppies with a banana and getting more and more agitated and angry each time I mess up.
Okay, lads, okay. I'll explain. I played a football match last night, and you all know that I'm a dribbler. With a football, by the way. I'm not saying that I sit down all day drilling into my Cheerios. So yes, in trying to weave past someone in the middle of the park, he clumsily bulldozes through me. I go over my ankle and I've been a bit around all day. Seriously, I'm actually not able to put weight on my left foot. Not really. And definitely. Okay, when I do keep yuppies, I'm right-footed, so I would need to put all of my weight on my left foot. I can't. I simply cannot. If I do that, I will go over on my ankle again, and I'll be ruled out for even longer. Honestly, lads, not the day after I roll my ankle, okay? I'll do it in a couple of days. Or, okay, let's say this. For the Prem catch-up next week, I think on Monday, I should be able to put weight on it. So don't worry. I will do the banana keep yuppies then. You know I will. But, lads, this is what happens when you dribble. Leeds 3, Chelsea 1. Oh no, play the clip.
I mean, if Chelsea don't win it on the road, and I really, really think they will, I will stand outside Aldi having a very public domestic dispute with a Peppa Pig toy.
Right then.
Are we going to talk about what you said last night? Oh, don't look at me like that. You know what you said to me last night. It was very hurtful, and I'd like to offer you this opportunity to apologize. Come on, you know what you said. Don't look at me like that. Oh wait, you're gonna give me the silent treatment now? Every day you're becoming more and more like your mother. I don't know why you have to be like this sometimes. I don't get it. Sorry, we're having a dispute. I'm sorry, I don't know why you have to speak to me like this. This marriage is never gonna work if you're not gonna pull your weight. If I knew what you were really like, if I knew the real you, then I would have never married you in the first place. I can promise you that. I'm sorry to put it all out now, but I'm sorry. If you're gonna be like this, then I want the divorce, then I want it quick. I just don't get it. I don't understand why you're like this. I'm sorry, I know I'm causing a scene right now, and Peter's trying to go about the shopping, but I'm sorry, it's just... And another thing, why do you always use up the last of the Weetabix? You know I love Weetabix. I can't start my day without it, but you always take the last few crumbs. I don't know why you have to be like this. Why? I should have found another pig when I had the chance. And why? Why do you never hold my hand in bed? Why? So, do you want to tell me who Bobby is then? Come on, I'll only ask you one more time. Who is Bobby? I can't believe you do this to me. To all of us. It's a complete slap in the face. And please can you tell me why you thought it appropriate to hug all the bedsheets last night? My feet get cold too. It's not all just about you, you know. I think it's appalling the way you carry on. I really chose the wrong pig. It's shocking, and the sooner you grow up, the better. Honestly. I just don't get it. I don't understand it at all. Why? Why do you have to be like this? And you took the last scrambled egg as well, and the final bit of the milk. I had nothing to eat last night. Shocking. I'm done with this.
That was weird. Lads, Chelsea fans have been telling me in the comments that I haven't been giving them enough credit. That me giving them a C in their mid-season ratings was just mean. That this Chelsea team is the real deal. That them getting a draw against Arsenal with 10 men was proof they're in a title race. Yeah, that might just have been the shortest title challenge in human history. 3 days before Chelsea utterly melt at Leeds, and now you're 9 points off the top. Yeah, I'm sorry, lads, but the day that Enzo Maresca lifts a Premier League title is the same day that I turn into an elephant. I promise you. I'll say it now. If Maresca ever gets Chelsea to win the Premier League, then I will walk into Conor McGregor's pub dressed in nothing but a towel and scream that I love Khabib. Actually, even further than that, I'm so convinced this will never happen. And if it ever does, then I will legally get married to a Rice Krispies box. Me and Pop are gonna be so happy. This Chelsea team scream of inconsistency. Because yeah, sure, they can slap a Barca on a Tuesday night, but they can also get bullied off the park at Leeds. Fair play to Leeds, this is a magnificent performance, and you saved Daniel Farke's job. Because before this game, the story was that if Leeds lost, then Gary O'Neill was being lined up to take the Leeds job. I mean, that's all the motivation Leeds need to book up their ideas. Clearly, the Leeds players must have seen this looming threat online and treated it as if they've been told that if they don't win this match, then the chairman will make them eat dog food for a month. Seriously, you don't need more motivation to perform than the dangling suggestion that O'Neill is going to become your boss. Because I would imagine that most footballers with a brain would sooner lick chocolate off an old woman's chin than agree to have this managerial turn-up standing on the touchline. Look, this is a brilliant Leeds win. Brilliant, an epic atmosphere, and that Tanaka goal was probably the loudest this stadium has been in years. However, it's not that goal I want to touch on. It is the final Leeds goal, which has spooked me. Because here was Tosin Adarabioyo receiving a normal pass in his own box, but he then dallies on the ball, loses it trying to turn the Leeds player, and then a second later, Calvert-Lewin has it in the net. Now, it is a truly woeful mistake, but what spooks me is that this is the exact same mistake Edouard Mendy made the last time Chelsea were here, when Chelsea were flattened 3-0 3 years ago. But both Tosin and Mendy took heavy touches in their own box, and both of them tried to turn the onrushing Leeds forward, closing them down. And they both lose the ball for a Leeds tap-in. It is the exact same mistake 3 years apart. This is like when Messi recreated Maradona's dream goal. Why do Chelsea players now produce these sort of howlers at Ellen Road? Chelsea are 4 managers deep after that Mendy howler, and yet it's still happening. The same mistake. It's mad. It's like somebody embarrassing themselves in Tesco multiple times. First of all, because they were told to get out after being caught chatting up the monkey off the Cocoa Puffs box, and then when they finally work up the courage to come back, then they blurt out to the cashier that they find mice attractive. Ellen Road has become Chelsea's Tesco, or let's be real, my Aldi. It's a zone of embarrassment. Burnley 0, Crystal Palace 1. Play the clip.
I'm going for a 2-0 Crystal Palace win. Daniel Munoz seems like the perfect sort of counter-attacking battery. Pops up to score at the back post. And Mateta, obviously, 2-0 Palace win.
Mateta, why couldn't you just add a second to make this look like the perfect prediction? Because I said Daniel Munoz would score, and he did. Well, look, for Burnley, is it time to say goodbye to Scott Parker? It might look a bit harsh, but is it though? You've lost 5 matches in a row and are getting cut adrift in 19. Parker is someone who I would imagine has tasted relegation more times than he's rode the teacups at Disneyland. As a manager, he's already been a Premier League failure at Fulham and at Bournemouth. He ran away after losing a match 9-0 and now, surprise, surprise, second bottom of the league. Look, I'm not one of these weird goblins who hates Parker for no reason. No, absolutely not. He was one of the first names I got on the back of my shirt 20 years ago. Oh, wow, that makes me feel old. There was once a time where I would happily share the bath with my gran to get Scott Parker's autograph. I remember being gutted when he quit us for West Ham. This isn't a I hate Parker campaign or anything. No, I'll let the Spider-Man villains have that. No. I like Scott. Kind of. I mean, as a player, I don't really care for him as a manager. But lads, I think with him, Burnley are doomed at the wheel. Go out there and, okay, you're not going to be able to attract the best managers in the world, but get somebody with an aura. Somebody who can give you a new manager bounce. Like what, believe it or not, Frank Lampard initially gave to Everton. Bring in a Patrick Vieira, who's free and single, and I think still underrated as a manager, because he did pretty well at Palace. He's not a long-term pick, no, but just think about the immediate lift in the dressing room when he walks through the door. A former invincible legend. You do not need a long-term boss, you just need someone who'll claw you enough points to survive. Somebody who can give the dressing room a boost. And I think that is Vieira, to give you a chance of survival. Arsenal 2, Brentford 0. Arsenal, well done. Okay, I know that sounds patronising to be giving compliments from a grubby elf. I mean, yeah, I know. Who am I to congratulate Arsenal? It'd be like some Matsky telling Ariana Grande that she had a nice haircut in Wicked. It'd be like you getting paid compliments by a snail. But I'm sorry, Arsenal, this could have been a tricky banana skin. Up against Brentford midweek, this could have been a tricky 1-1 draw. Like when Liverpool under Klopp slipped up on a Wednesday night against Leicester back in 2019, Harry Maguire cost you the league. It's these sort of midweek matches where, yeah, you can fall asleep at the wheel when in the middle of a hectic title race. But no, you got the job done. Well done. But I still don't think you win the league. Fulham 4, Man City 5. This was almost the most epic comeback in Premier League history. Yes, even greater than Newcastle's 4-4 draw with Arsenal. Because of this one, there was no red card. Lads, Fulham were 5-1 down to Man City after 56 minutes. I bet some fans went home early. But no, then Alex Iwobi nets a stunner, and then Samuel Chukwueze steps off the bench to bang in 2 screamers. And lads, towards the end, Josh King chips Donnarumma, gets cleared off the line. This is so close to being a bonkers 5-5. 5-5. Lads, I've seen truly ridiculous scorelines in Premier League before. Yeah, but I've never ever seen a 5-5. No. I've seen plenty of 5-4s, but never have I seen 2 teams equally share 10 goals. Oh, and actually, okay, I forgot. There was a West Brom 5, Man United 5 back in May 2013, but I don't really feel like that one counts because it wasn't a real match. It was just Sir Alex's last day in the job. So it really felt like the last day at school, where nothing matters. You know you're never going to see your scary teacher ever again. And so yeah, you spend all day throwing chocolate muffins at the wall. Everyone is free to do what they want. Even the bullies have license to roam, so much so that you'll probably find the big one giving the janitor a wedgie at lunch. I don't think this game counts because if it was not Ferguson's last day in charge, oh lads, I'm sure 1 or 2 of those Man United defenders would have mysteriously gone missing over the summer. 4 months later, the police would probably be finding a Scottish pig burping up Alex Butler's thumb. So I really don't think that counts because it was the final game. But for this one, this is in the middle of a proper title race. And for Fulham, a relegation dogfight. This game mattered and it was almost the most epic finale, which would have had me face planting a pie. Brighton 3, Aston Villa 4. Well, this was a brilliant match. An excellent attacking display from Aston Villa, and Ollie Watkins is back, right? Where has he been hiding? This is the Watkins of old. Bustling in 2 clean strikes. Finally, he's remembered how to score. Because let's be real, lads, that seat on the plane to the next World Cup, that is his to lose. The only way he doesn't go to America is if, yeah, he proves me right when I said that he was now going to be a bloated, washed up Darren Bent, approaching his banter years. But no, this is a quality performance, and overall, a pretty crazy match. And Villa's run of form, I am sorry, put some respect in it. Nobody is talking about Aston Villa. Yes, that's 8 wins from 9 games. This feels like a missed opportunity because, lads, if Villa hadn't waited over a month to score their first goal of the season, if they'd started well, then they would be in a serious title race. It would be Arsenal and Aston Villa at the top. Emery versus Arteta. Oh, lads, that feels like a missed opportunity. Wolves 0, Nottingham Forest 1. Wolves are absolute toast. And oh yeah, that reminds me, I reloaded on bread.
Thanks, Wolves.
Anyway, that is the end of the video. Let me know what do you think of the midweek games. Let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, share, I'll talk to you in a while.